for I guess we can start by introducing yourselves. Like, for obviously, I assume if you've watched the film, Tina played Veda, and Nick played Ty. um, their characters had a short-lived relationship. We'll say that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to talk about like just kind of introduce yourself, say your name, kind of like how you came to the project.
Yeah. I'm Martina. um, so I came across this project on like an audition website type thing. And I quickly heard back from Courtney once I submitted my audition. And she told me I got it. And then from there, I don't know, it wasn't very long from there, I feel like, where
Well, it's like a couple weeks maybe.
yeah, and then we like auditioned Nick's, so I was there for that too.
Yeah.
Nick's, Ties, I'm dead. We auditioned Ties, not Nick's. And that's where we met Nick. And yeah, and then we started filming shortly after that, and it was like less than 6 months.
Yeah. No, we shot for like maybe it was like 6 to 8 months we were shooting.
Yeah, it was like around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a little introduction of that. But yeah, I'm Martina. I was in like my last year of college when we were filming this. I've been acting for a few years, small projects here and there. So this is my first independent film.
Yes.
And yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it was a cool experience. Yeah, I don't know.
No, you said something interesting.
Working with you guys.
Yes, and we love working with Tina. Tina did a lot of the I would say next to me, Tina probably did the most work in relationship to this project. Just because you had to like you were in every single scene pretty much or thereabout. Like you were on call basically for every single scene. I would say. I think there was like one scene you weren't like a part of.
Yeah.
The whole film.
Like Ellie's scenes or something.
Yeah, Ellie's scenes. And that was like the one time you left. But everything else, like you were either in or you were there for to shoot for, however long for the rest of the day. So and that's not a small task at all. It really isn't. And like the pages and pages of dialogue, like when she's speaking to the camera, that's just like pages of dialogue to remember, So that's a lot of work, and I thank you for that. And I've expressed my thanks like so many times to both of them for just even doing this project and like sticking with it and everything. But
I'd love to work with you again, Courtney. Courtney was amazing director, creator, writer, producer, everything.
She really was.
Yeah.
Well, I always love hearing that because a lot of times you're like, oh my god, these people are gonna get so annoyed at me picking up the phone and calling them like every day, like texting them in the middle of the day, like, can you please do this, or like, can you please like be here at this time. So it was great that we were able to like build a relationship, over the course of filming. Like I always looked forward to filming. There was no like, oh, God, I don't want to like do this again. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, yes, we get to film this weekend. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
I was always excited going down to Colombia and filming.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all like got along like pretty well and quickly.
Yeah, for sure. There was no like, it doesn't always work out this way, but like usually, especially on bigger sets and stuff, sometimes you like don't vibe with someone and you're like, okay, I don't have to ever work with you again. But there was none of that. There was like none of that. It was like, it was sad to leave because we didn't have that like camaraderie anymore because we weren't shooting anymore,
Yeah.
So, we haven't seen each other in person in like a year. Yeah, a little bit, yes, less than a year, but that's the part that I was saying in the last Q&A that I missed the most, is definitely just working with everybody and being around that like good creative energy, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, Nick, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Nick. I play Ty. This was like my first big acting thing. Never really worked on like a feature-length project before. So that was really exciting. Very different from everything I've done, little shorts here and there, like 5 minutes at most, not like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting project, I remember the audition process, found it on Facebook. I was like, let me try it. And I remember going to the Panera for the audition and everything.
Yes.
I remember I was like, I just sat down in like the middle of the Panera and I was like, I have no clue where to go. I'm just completely lost. And you were like, oh, we're in the back room. And I'm like, where the hell is that? And then getting straight to filming, it was just a wild ride. I remember all those late nights and the nights by like the waterfront with a river, and it was like freezing, and even the
Yes.
pool.
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
I give Ivy so much credit
Yes.
for
Oh my
those pool
God.
scenes.
It was May. I thought when we were shooting that scene, I thought it would be warm, but it was May. It was like late,
No.
early May, and it really wasn't warm yet. And so like at night it would get pretty cold, and
It
she was
was.
like in the water. Shout out to Ivy.
I was just telling my roommates. It was like 4 a.m. when we were filming that.
Yeah.
And I just remember the water was like so. I didn't even get in. I just I felt so bad though.
Yeah, but and then that scene, Nick helped me like hold the camera because we have underwater shots for that.
Yeah.
But that ended up being, I wasn't sure that I had never done that before, so I wasn't sure that was going to turn out well, and I think it turned out really well. Like those shots at the very end of the film, where we like see Ivy's like body underwater. That
in
was
the fish
all.
Tank.
Yeah, in the fish tank, literally. Like I found some hack online for that, and I was like, we're doing that. We're putting that in there. So yeah, honestly, like we were saying, we kind of like piecemealed like everything together, and I think it came out really well. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing about independent films is you always have to use whatever resources you have, whatever, tutorials you can find, whatever, like, locations you can find, whatever costumes you can find. Like, you have to do a lot of stuff yourself. But that's what makes it fun, though, is like it's a constant challenge. Like, okay, well, I don't actually know how to do her makeup, but we're gonna watch YouTube videos and figure out how to do it. Or we don't have this like mansion looking place. Let's go find a place online, you know what I mean? So that's the fun part, I think, of making films independently, is like you have to like fight through it and figure out how to make it work,
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot more freedom with it, but like that also means like a lot more stuff for like you or a few people to do.
Exactly.
Which I know we talked about many times. Like it wasn't like a huge crew, obviously, like working on it, but like that was like nice at the same time. I remember you mentioned.
Yeah, that's actually something I think about now. I was telling Tina before the film screened and everything that I just did work on a project that was like very corporate, very big, you know what I mean? And there was like somebody for every single thing, like everything. Yeah. And there's like 200 people running around doing like, and it's great to like have that kind of energy, like so many people, but it also makes everything so bureaucratic. It makes everything like, well, gotta go to the supervisor for that one thing, or I gotta go to this person for that one thing, versus like us, it was like either I was answering the question or like there was like one line and you know exactly like who to go to. There was no like trying to figure out whatever. It was like kind of all hands on deck, you know what I mean? And it actually speeds up the production process because you don't have to like wait around for all these things to come down the pipeline. So I want to keep that style of filmmaking, like keep the crew very small, keep the cast reasonably small for whatever the project is, like, because it stresses me out to have too many people actually like in the same area doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of having small crews and working really tight knit with a certain group of people, because you can bond a lot quicker too, So yeah, that we did that for Clout obviously out of necessity because it was COVID. I didn't have any money, and it was like, who's gonna like just come do an independent film for free, So like it was sort of necessity, but it ended up working out the same way. So yeah.
Yep. I just want to say the movie was really good. Really good. I loved it a whole lot. I loved the editing. I liked how you made the whole the movie in a vlog format. That was really good. But my question is what was your like inspo for this story and all? Like
for the story.
You go through it, what inspired you to write this? Because I did. Oh, I stole Christine's question.
Yeah.
No, but what was your inspiration
because I really liked how, like, with the ending, how it showed, like, you know, how her, like, Ellie's biggest fan ended up being her biggest enemy. And it was it was really good. I really liked that a whole lot. So I wanted to know your whole inspo with this whole movie and everything.
Yeah, so I really my inspiration started with my like post-grad depression. So that's like that's a really depressing inspo, but it kind of was. I started like once I finished college, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have like a full-time job. I had this like idea of like what my life should be and
The
what
way
it
that
should
that's
look
me
like.
and my roommates right now. Like,
Yeah, like, and I know you guys
yes.
are going through the same thing. They're like, where's my job? I need money. I need to get these things together. And so I went back home. I'm from South Carolina, so I went back home. I went to school in North Carolina and came back. And I was like, you know, I'm like, I just felt like a loser. I was like, I'm at my mom's house. I don't have a job. I like graduated college and like, you know, at the time I didn't even have a car. So I was like where is my life going? So obviously I was like, now I recognize it as like post-grad depression. At the time I was like, everything just sucks, like, you know. So but then I was like, let me start writing, because that always helped me out during college.
Yeah.
And so I was watching YouTube videos just like back to back, just binging like all day, like YouTube videos, vloggers, people I had watched like years and years and years before. And then I was like, I've watched these people's lives unfold as I like watch vlog 1, then 2, 3, 4, and then like 200. And so I was like, I'm watching them like get married, have children, do these like big major life changes. So that is a form of narrative, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that became like the wheel started turning about like, you know, the structure of the film, like taking the vlog format and then following somebody's life. So that was kind of where the inspo came from that. Then I was watching people like James Charles and what's the guy's name? Jeffree Star. Yeah, I was watching them, like they had like a new scandal every like 2 weeks, right? Like at the time. Yeah. And so I was watching them and I was like, why are they up on a pedestal if they keep doing these really problematic things on the internet and people keep paying them, you know, and watching them do these like really problematic things. Yeah. And they've like morphed into this whole other human. Like when you see their early videos, they don't even look the same. So I was like, you know, I took that idea, like the James Charleses and the Jeffree Stars, and like combined that with, you know, just watching vlogs and watching somebody's life unfold. And I was like, this could be a really good, really interesting, really relatable and contemporary narrative film if I write it this way, like, you know what I mean? So, and all my other work has been very like experimental and like conceptual art based kind of stuff. So I was like, let's just start experimenting with writing it. And so I was writing it. I wrote like the first couple of scenes and I took it to a writer's workshop and they really liked it. They were an older group too, like people like 20, 30, 40 years older than me. And they were like, yeah, like I get this. I can see how this could come to life. And so I kept writing it and writing it and writing it. And the story like unfolded over the course of like 6 months. And as I was writing it, I was like, no, I like the direction that this is going. I can put so many different themes and like questions in here and about social media culture, about even like girl culture, about relationships. And it continued to evolve until I was like, this isn't a good place. I can shoot this. So then I started reaching out to actors and I found Tina and Nick. And then we started shooting and like everything, honestly, it was just this like slow kind of build. You know what I mean? I wish I could say I was like, I had a brilliant idea like in 10 minutes and I wrote it all down. But it was months and years of like this step happened and then that step and then just kept building on it. And then I finally got, you know, the courage enough to be like, let's produce this. And so once you start producing, you got to keep rolling. So that's why we're here now. That was the inspo. That's a long explanation, but yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
Come on in, Cece. Hello, I'm Christine, another one of Tina's roommates. I want to like somersault and also. I agree with everything Simran said. It's like a wonderful film, and actually, like you just talking about the last scene, like and how you were unsure of how to end it. I think like I liked how extreme the ending was because like it hits home like the satire and like how like
I guess like it's like how over dramatic and over the top influencers are, but then also like really hits home the whole like just I'm not saying this right because I'm like still collecting my thoughts, but it was really good. Sorry. And then so one of my questions, well actually no, I think this is right. Okay, we're good. My question was about wardrobe because like the Veda that we like visually see at the beginning of the movie is very different from the one that we see at the end of the movie. And of course, like the character has completely changed as well. And like we also saw her wardrobe change. So I was just wondering like what were some of the like the I guess some of the inspirations, because I know I kept telling Tina, especially towards the end of the film, I was like, you look like one of the Kardashians. I was like, you look like Charlie D'Amelio, like all these like influencers. And so I was like, so like what were some of the inspirations for the wardrobe? And then also like some of the like thought process and like meaning behind wardrobe decisions.
That's great. I love that you even think we put that much thought into it. It's not even that we didn't put thought into it, because it was intentional to have her change. Like that needed to happen just for the plot. But I would say wardrobe was one of the things that we sort of made happen on the fly. I was intentional about certain outfits at the end. I was like, okay, you have to be in like this pink, or we have to have your makeup be very like, you know, Kardashian like, you know. But the beginning I was like, Tina, just bring like whatever you got, whatever you would wear to an interview, bring like just basic clothes, like, because I didn't want her to feel too done up. I wanted her to feel like she's just like a girl with her camera in her room, you know?
No, it's the way that like literally Veda's outfits were mine and then all the cute stuff was yours.
Yeah, okay, that's also true too. Like most of like what Tina was wearing at the beginning was actually a lot of like Tina's own clothes, or like just like things we found around. And then at the end I was like, I specifically like got like that pink like jumpsuit that she had, or like sweatsuit she has. I found that. And then we wanted her to look like Ariana Grande at the end, so that's why we had her in like the little skirt with the like the sweater and the boots. And then I don't know, because like the Y2K aesthetic came in around the same time we were filming, and so I was like, that scene where she's about to expose Ellie, I was like, let's put you in like one of those like Y2K tank tops and do the like beret, like, you know, that kind of stuff. So we were kind of just playing around with it, honestly. At the end we definitely were like, let's go over dramatic and make her look as, you know, Kardashian like, or influencer like IG baddie type look we could get, you know. So that I wouldn't say we had to at least look at a specific person. We were like pulling from different people's looks, you know, to make her look like she's an Instagram girl, or like she's a big time YouTuber, you know. So
no, Christine kept saying like that. She was like, you literally look like a YouTuber.
No, there were some points of the film, which definitely, like, of course, because of Tina's acting and also because of like the wardrobe, I literally was like, I forgot I was watching my roommate on the screen. Like,
that's great. That's great. That means like we did a good job getting, you know, transforming her. You know, that's definitely the point. I'm glad that she came off that way, because like sometimes I see her, I'm like, oh God, her hair was falling. This wasn't right. We should have hairsprayed it, or we should have whatever. Because like we know what was actually happening behind the scenes. Like that whole last scene, her ponytail, the fake ponytail was like falling out, and we had to just like shoot around it. The entire time it was falling out. And so I appreciate that, because that was definitely intentional, is to make her look as YouTube-y as possible. Yeah. I wish I would have had somebody actually like really be able to like design outfits for her and like put things really together specifically for Tina, because that would have been really cool. That's like an art form in itself, you know?
I mean, honestly, I really thought like the way that the outfits were, I was like, oh no, Courtney must have had like whole like Pinterest boards and everything. Like it looked really planned out.
It was just, I was like, honestly, I put so much into like shot listing and all of that like wardrobe was so much, unfortunately, an afterthought, because I was doing so much other stuff. And so when I would like, you know, put the scene together, like shooting it or putting the shot list together, I was like, oh crap, what is she gonna wear? And then I was like, okay, we gotta put together an outfit, something. And then of course I'm a big thrifter, so I thrift all the time. And I was like, I know I have something in my closet that I can just take and make for her. Like that whole outfit Tina was wearing at the end is in my closet now to this day. So yeah, no, that's a great question. I appreciate that, because that was not super intentional.
I have 2 questions. Not sure if you guys hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Hi. So I know you mentioned earlier that you had the script written for like 5 months before you started filming. But did you find yourself kind of changing up the script as you guys were filming and like notice that like, oh, this might work better if you say this? Or did you like specifically stick to the script?
No, we definitely changed a lot. And a lot changed not just because of me just creatively deciding to take things out, but because we might not have had the resources to film something, or we didn't have the time to film something. Like there's entire scenes that were supposed to be shot that in the moment I was like, we're not going to shoot this at all. So yeah, we would change lines all the time. A big line we actually changed was whenever Nick's character was in the club. They're at like the nightclub, and the girls walk by, the like fan girls walk by, and they were supposed to say like the D word, like DICK, but they're really young, so we didn't want to say that. And the person who like got the girls to come and be a part of the film was like, they can be a part of it, but they just can't say that word. So I was like, all right, we're gonna take that out, and we'll just have them giggle. And like I think it's still cute. Like it works for their age group, and it's like, and it drives the point home pretty clearly. Right. So yeah, we change things all the time as necessary, and it was great because since I'm the writer, I can change things very quickly, and like there's nobody to ask about it. There's no like ego about it. I'm just like, that's not gonna work. Cross it out, and we'll keep moving.
Right. And then my other question, I know you touched a little bit upon some of the challenges, but for you, along with Nick and Tina, like what did you find the most challenging of bringing this script to life?
I'll go first, and then I'll give Nick and Tina, they can say. For me, the challenge was definitely the producing work, just making sure that we secured the locations, that we were like allowed to film in these places, like getting location agreements and stuff signed. That was the biggest challenge because I wasn't able to just totally be creative and like do like whatever. Like it had to work within a certain scope, just what I could find, what I could afford, everything I could finesse to make happen. So I think that was the biggest challenge, was just making all the producing decisions, but also still bringing the script to life and bringing it to life in a really impactful way. But yeah, Nick and Tina, you guys want to answer too?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest challenges was probably just making sure to like differentiate. Like I know I was playing one person, but there was also like Bella Diamond and then it was like Veda. So like making sure to like differentiate Veda from like the beginning to like part 2 where she's like starting to transform, and then Bella Diamond, because like they all had to have like slightly different personalities and like the way that they said things or acted and stuff like that. So that was something I just kind of tried to keep in mind, like as we were filming different scenes. But like also just trying to decide kind of what little quirks and stuff I wanted like Bella Diamond to have versus just Veda, like making Veda just more normal and like Bella Diamond just kind of crazy. So yeah, that I think that probably would be one thing. And then I guess just also all the dialogue. But again, like going off of what Courtney said, like a lot of it was either improvised also or like added on the spot or taken out. So yeah, Courtney was like really flexible about that, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I think I told him at one point, I was like, if you get the gist of what the scene is saying, I don't even care if you say everything that's on this page. Like there are certain things I was like, okay, you absolutely have to say that line. You like, absolutely have to say that. But a lot of what YouTubers say is fluff anyways. So I was like, if you got to change something around, something that works better for you, I'm still gonna, when I go to edit, I'm gonna get the best take, whatever you say. So,
And I think, definitely like, because it is like just a YouTuber type film, and just like seeing YouTubers, like they all basically act, not like that they act the same, but like there is like some kind of like rhythm, I guess, to it. Like everyone just kind of has like the same little things that they like do in their videos. So like that was kind of easy to kind of go off of.
Yeah.
Like take elements of that into this role. But yeah.
I remember we did so many takes for like every shot. And then Courtney goes, oh, I just used the first one. most of the time.
No, literally. Oh my god.
Okay, that's like halfway true. And then the other half is like the reason I went back recently. I was like, I made them do so many takes. Like, there's so much footage I have just of like I could have made 2 Clouts actually with the amount of footage we shot. But I personally, everybody's doesn't like this style, but the way I like to direct is to like, because we only have that one take, or we only have that one like moment to do this. I like to do it multiple times, and then when I go to edit, I can see how it looks different with, you know what I mean? But yeah, we would do things like a minimum of like at least 2 or 3 times, but if not 4 or 5 plus, you know. Yes, continue, Nick.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like why? Like I mean, like I understand. Like you never know. There might be like something wrong with one take, and then you always have the backup.
Yeah.
Well, you always need a backup.
Sometimes we would do like like 8 takes.
Yeah.
Like one thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all part of the process.
I would say the biggest challenge for me was like the in public scenes, because like I remember filming at the mall, and even though there wasn't like that much dialogue, or if any dialogue, a cop just walks up right by us and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, what are you guys doing? Like, what's going on here? And we're like, oh, we're trying to film something real quick. Like, we could just get these shots done. He's like, okay, but you guys got like 10 minutes and then you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
That like security guard that just kept following us.
It kept like going around. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We still got, honestly, like we got a lot of shots given the fact that he was like kind of creeping around.
Yeah.
And like I put him in the film too. So yeah. And that was definitely a challenge too, is like evading police or like trying to like, you know, legally film when you don't like, we can't afford permits. So we can't like shut stuff down to like get these 2 shots, you know. Plus I think a lot of these shots, especially for a YouTuber, like it looks better when there's public anyways. But yeah, that was another challenge, is like trying to legally shoot Clout, even though we don't legally have the money to be legal. So yes, that's definitely a finesse.
Yeah. Like the movie theater scene too. I remember we were in there for like less than 5 minutes.
Yes,
Oh,
literally.
I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That lady got mad at us because we had the light on.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot about that too.
We look so suspicious though. Like now I think about it, like we had to, because we were there for 5 minutes and we had a light on and like kept whispering. That was suspicious. I see why, like people definitely like put up with us in public, and I appreciate them too for that, like whoever they are out there. But
I just know there's like some like security camera somewhere out there like seeing me like stand on that thing in front of the building and just like
yeah
like somewhere out there someone was watching me on like the security camera, like what is she doing?
Exactly. I think another thing that actually helped us is we were like very young looking. So we look like kids who like don't know what they're doing, like aren't doing anything serious. So people are probably like, whatever, like
whatever.
It doesn't matter. Like, but we're like shooting a whole film. So that was that.
And in the height of social media too, they're probably just like, they're YouTubers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the one thing that was really going through my mind the whole time was just the bystander effect, and how all of these people were like watching her spiral and not really doing anything, especially like towards the end when I noticed like all of the crazy, like really, really crazy stuff that Bella was doing was on Patreon instead of like public YouTube. And so I was just wondering what kind of, you know, thought process you had in all of that, with like all these people are watching her spiral and not doing anything and everything.
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, because that's a critique too, is like we're watching this, like we're almost co-signing her behavior, because nobody told her to stop. Nobody said, hey, you're doing too much. Like they just continue to watch. And even those numbers ticking at the end where like the viewer count keeps going up, it's like more and more people are logging on to see her do this, and nobody's like commented. Nobody's like, they're just watching it unfold, you know? So yes, that was absolutely intentional. And it's there to make a critique about how we view people like James Charles or Jeffree Star, or like whoever's like, you know, in trouble this week on YouTube, you know? Like when we watch them, we kind of watch these like train wrecks unfold, you know, on our screen. and then like just turn it off and be like, oh well, that's his life, whatever. Like he's problematic, but on to the next YouTuber, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, where's our responsibility as an audience? And that's partly why I wanted to actually make the ending so shocking and kind of and disturbing, is because I wanted to be, or I wanted it to feel like we shouldn't be sitting by anymore. You know what I mean? Like we should, like I should want you to be like really repulsed and like disgusted with her behavior to be enough to be like, don't watch this girl, or don't support, don't, you know what I mean? Like really think about, why am I consuming this content in this way, you know? So it sounds like you got that, and I appreciate that and that question for sure.
Yeah, that definitely came through, like the level of disgust and like just perfect.
Great
delivery.
Definitely, because I like that actually just reminded me, like I know like we were literally talking about this like a week ago about like how there's like some like celebrities in the world that like continue to do like these crazy things, but like everyone supports them and like buys their things and like just like, you know. And so that's definitely a good point. Like it kind of is playing off of that too.
Yeah, I don't know what it really is. It's like we can like turn off our conscience for some reason when it comes to like celebrities or really famous people. It's like they are almost these like, I don't know, these like figures that don't have to be held to the same moral standard that we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like even stuff that celebrities do that's like maybe not exactly criminal, that we just wouldn't normally do as like ethical kind of things, like just being a good person. We definitely let it slide because we see that they are celebrities. And we're like, well, so and so just behaves that way. They're just like that or whatever. And it's like, they're still people. They still should be held to some sort of standard, you know? And I wanted to definitely like point that out in this film. It's like, she's still a person. And she's actually somebody who never really recovered from a mental illness, a mental issue, you know? And she gets to that point at the end where she spiraled out because she never got the help she needed in her early years, you know, like she never really stopped taking pills. We never say that she stopped anything. She just kept getting followers, you know? So that was definitely implied and definitely like something I wanted to highlight and put out there. So
yeah, for sure. One other thing, this isn't a fully formed thought yet, so I'm kind of just like spitballing.
That's okay.
But a lot of the YouTubers we've been mentioning, like James Charles and like everybody, have been like typically more, you know, masculine presenting or, you know, men YouTubers. So how did you play with the idea of gender in creating Beta and, you know, making her female YouTuber?
Good question. Wow, these are really great questions. Seriously, they're great. I don't know if I thought about like gender in the sense that I was like, we absolutely have to like, or I didn't think about it like this is gender based. You know what I mean? I think all my work comes out as women because that's how I live my life. You know what I mean? Like my viewpoint is always from a woman's viewpoint. But one thing I definitely did want to highlight is I wanted her to be as complex as a woman as we would look at a man. And so that's why Ty's sort of second, he's like in the background in this. Not that Nick's in the background. Nick's never in the background. But but that's why you can make you can actually make a critique about that too, about why she keeps her boyfriend in the background. Is because the show is about her and she does want it to be, you know, me. Like that's what she's about. Only her. And like, and the thing is, in women's lives, like we are centered in our own lives. So even her, like her craziness, her like her mental health disorder, or her and her bad behavior, all of that is centered in women's lives because we're human beings, right? So that I think was definitely something I wanted to put in there, maybe a little subconsciously. But other than that, I think playing with gender just came out in the way like her wardrobe, her makeup, all of that stuff, like everything that was like internet culture, girl culture. And like we were saying, we were definitely emulating the IG baddie look. So we were really pushing like ultra feminine, very like mini skirts, heels, makeup, you know, the hair. We were definitely pushing that gender norm because that's what YouTube is. It's like almost binary. You know what I mean? Or they try to make it as fluid now they're, especially like people like James Charles and Jeffree Star, they do like get into makeup, but even their presentation of gender is like they push ultra femme, you know. So I think that was definitely something I wanted to showcase in there too, you know, as far as gender is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that binary is also like the Paul brothers and everything like that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The opposite. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And there are male YouTubers. I know like the Dolan twins are male YouTubers. And their content's just very different than someone like I'm trying to think who's like a really famous like girl YouTuber. I guess well you could compare someone like James Charles. Like their content is definitely more masculine and they do more like gimmicky stuff, the Dolan brothers. Or I don't even know if they're on YouTube anymore. But when I was like, you know, studying like watching YouTube channels for this film, their content was very like gimmicky, like let's go do so and so for 24 hours or whatever, versus James Charles is like always sitting down doing makeup and like always, you know what I mean, doing these like ultra feminine things. So yeah, I think gender is definitely a good way to, or an interesting way to look at this film, because I don't think I put that in there consciously, but gender always shows up, right? So it's definitely there, you know. And I think while we're talking about gender, something that I did intend to do, like I was saying before, was have Nick's character more in the background, not just because Veda obviously wants to be seen, but because I wanted her. I guess I wanted the critique to be focused on her, not so much Nick, because Nick's really the only character who's like straight. He's like a good guy. He actually really is like the good person, you know, in this film, and that's why he leaves like halfway through. But so I wanted the critique to be really focused on Veda, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you.
Awesome.
No, so I just thought of this now, but like, how did you think of the names for the characters?
Oh, that's an even better questions. Oh, your roommates have great questions. I love those. I've never been asked those. Well, truth is they actually had different names. And the Veda's original name, she went through like 2 different changes. No, her original name was Veda. Mm-hmm. Veda was absolutely her original name. Then I changed it to like Daisy or like something else. Yeah. No, I changed it to like Devin and Daisy. And I think in the script that Tina originally got, she was like, this says Devin. And I was like, that was from like previous drafts. Get rid of it. It's fine. Yeah. And then Ty's original name was like Jody, which I don't know. I needed something more like red blood American male than Jody. Yeah. Jody felt too like, it felt too like artsy. So I was like, Tyler. We need like normal guy, like, you know what I mean? And so that's how I came up with Ty's name. And then Bella, I there's a YouTuber that I watch, her name's Bella, and she's very like ultra feminine. She's very like, she looks like Ariana Grande kind of. She's a very small, like almost maybe a mid-level YouTuber. And her name's Bella. And I was like, just add Diamond onto that, because why not? She's rich, right?
Diamond.
Just add that.
No, I thought it was interesting. Like the name Veda. I was like, how did you think of that one? Like, that's a nice name.
Veda? Yeah. I liked the name. I had a cousin named Veda, and I just like kept saying it in my head, like because I write stuff all the time. So sometimes I'll just think like, if I ever need a character, I have a list of names, character names, and so that one was like on the list, and I was like, I think Veda makes sense for this character, you know. And then I looked up the meaning, and I think it means like rising star or something, which I think kind of fits her character. Like she's a rising star, right? Or rising YouTuber. So yeah, I wish I could say it was like some great revelation, but it was like something I had kind of already thought about. I think the name that sounds the most YouTube-y is Ellie James. Like that really sounds like a girl on YouTube right now. And I knew another girl named Ellie too. Like I played volleyball with a girl named Ellie. And then I was like, what's another like, I don't know, just standard name. Yeah. Or a name that kind of rings, because that's what YouTuber names are, like a name that really is like concise and it like sticks in your mind. So I was like, Ellie James. I think that would work for her character. You know. and she's kind of the adversary too. So her name sounds like she could be kind of the like the bitchy, like like mean girl. So yeah, that's why I chose her name. And then as I continue to write, I like say the names a lot so I can get in a rhythm, and like it helps me form their characters too. Like I would say Veda and Ty, like, or Tyler, his last name was Wade, so like Tyler Wade, just to make sure that it was good in my brain. So then when I was writing it, it felt like a real character,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and watching and enjoying the film. Sounds like you guys took a lot away from it, and answering these questions or asking these questions, these like really thought-provoking questions. And yeah, I'm doing 2 more screenings of this film in June. So anybody who might be interested in the film, who you think might just find it interesting, like in general, definitely invite them to come, because I love to have more people come and watch and discuss and see what questions and stuff they come up with. So, and thank you to Nick and Tina for coming and answering questions for everybody and being part of being part of the film, but also being part of this cast Q&A and keeping up with everything too. Because like I said, we haven't seen each other in months, and you guys like still show up for Clout, so I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
It's our baby.
Yeah, seriously. I really do feel like you give like creative birth in a way, because you have to you really take care of it. Like it's a year later and I'm still like posting about Clout, trying to get people to come see it and making all kinds of things really in relationship to Clout and stuff like that. So
well, thank you, Courtney, because like literally none of this would be here without you. So
you guys are welcome. I loved it.
This, so
yes. Well, I have to say I loved being not just being writer director, because that's like a title, but I love making films, and you guys made that so much more enjoyable by being great cast, by working with me, by sticking with the project and coming back even a year later to do this and just be on call basically. Yeah. So.
Anything for you, Courtney.
Honestly,
I love you guys.
Great director. One of the best I've worked with.
No, really, definitely. Oh my God, Nick, remember that little video we made her at the airport?
Yeah.
Yes, I found that footage.
You have it still? Or do you?
Yeah, I have all of the footage saved.
Oh my God,
and I remember finding that shot and I was like, what is this? I didn't shoot this. Because I also shot everything too. I shot pretty much this entire film. The stuff besides the stuff that Tina shot, handheld. And I found that when I was editing, and I was like, they shot this. I know they shot this.
Yeah, Courtney stepped out of the airport for a second, and Nick and I had our camera, and we were like, so we left a little message there. We were like, oh, one of my roommates just asked for a blooper reel. So anything about that?
No, I need to make that. I haven't even made one. I need to make a blooper reel.
You should do it. I feel
definitely do that.
I messed up a lot. We definitely have things. So
yeah. No, that's a good idea. I might do that in the next coming weeks, since some things are starting to die down now, Clout. I might make a blooper reel and put it out there for people to see.
Yes.
I'll have to go back through the footage. That would be funny for sure.
That would be funny. Please share if you find anything.
Yes. Oh, I definitely will. I'll let you guys know. Yeah. I was gonna say something else. Nick said something, and I was gonna say something, but I forgot it. We talked about blooper reels. It's fine. I'll remember it later. Well,
great seeing you guys again.
Yes, you guys
nice
too.
seeing you.
It was
and
nice.
You guys definitely keep me updated on projects and stuff that you guys are doing. If you're doing anything really interesting that you want me to know about.
No, we're trying to find work out here. No,
I get it. I told you guys I just finished that job it was a 4-week long job, and that's the thing about being in the film industry is you just have to you finish one job and you're like, I'm unemployed again for a while, and then you go find another job. So it's all gig based. Yeah. Oh, another thing we should note too. I was actually working full time throughout this entire filmmaking process.
Yeah.
So I was working, and I was actually working in an office then too. Since then, I started working from home. But like, I was like in the office like 3 days or 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and then I was like shooting on the weekends, and then and so I had to like finesse producing work, all of that stuff while I was like working at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I think back, I'm like, I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Do you also edit all of the videos and put it together yourself too?
Yeah, I edited the whole film, all of that stuff, all of the like graphics and stuff is on there. I did all of that.
Literally,
And
like Ray's insane. Like she's amazing.
like all of literally all that stuff. That's why Clout really, like, when I say like I gave creative birth, like this is creative birth. This is like my thing for sure. And yeah, but I it didn't feel like so much because like all I've ever done is made things myself, you know, like I don't have the like major Hollywood connections to like have like 80 people help me out on this or like do this, you know what I mean? So I did it myself, and I had started doing that in college, so I knew I could do that. This was just a much bigger scale because it's a 2-hour film, so there was like so much I had to organize, get together. It took me like 3 to 4 months to really get the film down, and even the version we saw here took probably another like 2 months for me to get it down to like this length, because the version I showed Nick and Tina and their families at the screening is actually longer than this one. So Clout's like evolved over the last like 2 years, you know, and yeah. But I'm so glad it's out in the world now though, because I really feel like I can say like this is my intellectual work, it's my creative work, it's like all of those things, you know.
Yeah,
so
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Yes, thank you guys, and thank you to the audience members for coming and watching. I appreciate it. Like a film is great, but you gotta have people to watch it to make it a film. So you guys are equally as important. We definitely consider the audience at every step of the way. Like everything we're doing is for the viewer. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and asking questions and staying engaged with the film. And yeah, if you guys aren't following us already, like we have a Facebook page for Clout, as well as my Instagram. I always put everything for Clout on there. So yeah. If you guys want to follow along, keep watching.
Hey everyone, we got a bunch of the family here. We just want to say great job with everything. It was a great movie. Great job, Courtney, Tina, Nick.
Really,
thank you.
Great job, awesome everyone. Job.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
That's so cute.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Wonderful.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
We're not going on video though.
That's fine. We appreciate you though. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I know everybody's saying thank you, but really thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll let you guys leave the chat first, because I'm finishing up the screen recording. So, you know, you can just wave goodbye one more time.
Bye.
And then
Nice seeing you guys again.
Nice seeing you guys.
Bye.
Bye everybody.